Lieutenant Loverlady.
How's it going, my fellas? This isn't going to be like a normal gameplay and commentary video. I mean, it kind of is. I'm playing some free-for-all because I want to have a chance to really talk about some of these changes that they made in the new patch, actually, which is patch 9.10, I think. There's a lot of controversy around these new changes, and also, if I sound like I'm talking weird, that's because I probably am. I'm still kind of sick. Not even sick, it's just I'm very congested, so that's my reasoning. But there's a lot that people are very angry about, and I want to go over them and just list what my thoughts are on a lot of it, because people are not happy. So I'm going to go over a lot of the small stuff, but some of the big stuff you'll notice whenever I actually bring it up, you know? So the first one's obviously the new Shang skin. I think the art department is doing a very, very good job on the Ascended skins, actually, and the fact that we got another Ascended skin that quickly feels very nice. Although, I'm not going to repeat what I said in my Brawlhalla Fest video about the bundles. I feel like I've already listed my opinion about them there, and I don't want to just say it all over again. I don't want to beat a dead horse, you know what I mean? Whatever that saying is. But again, still a very cool skin. I enjoy them, and maybe we'll see them more often, depending on what BMG's plans are with them, and hopefully for less appreciated legends too, not just Taros and Mordex. We'll see. The next thing on the list is actually the new skirmish, which came out. You know, I always love the new skirmishes, and I usually never make videos on skirmishes. And maybe this isn't even a video on a skirmish, but I am technically making progress towards it, so... I mean, I'm a Team Light enjoyer. I am not going to join the dark side on this one, or I guess Team Shadow in this case. It might just be me joining the side that's lesser seen, but look, my reasoning for it is that Light straight up just outright beats Shadow, like, at least in terms of like how science works, because you can't, the best way to put it is that you cannot just get rid of Light with Shadow, but you can get rid of shadows with Light. That's my reasoning for it. That is my only reasoning for it. Again, though, still a cool skirmish after all. I actually love skirmishes a lot, and I still am hoping they do a bit more with them, actually. Right now, it's just kind of play, like, you choose your team and just play, but I hope they add a bit more to it. After that, we have the new Brawl crossover. Obviously, it's not really an official crossover. It's more just Brawl x Adidas. We have a cool Red Raptor skin, which I actually got. It's a very, very nice skin, actually, and that will help me dive into the next topic that I want to get into. I wasn't paying attention to the score at all, holy. But second place still counts as a win. The new Raptor skin, I think, is very cool, actually. And I don't want them to do, like, more crossover type skins like that. I think they're cool, but, you know, it kind of removes from more creativity that we could have with some of these skins, right? But the reason that I wanted to bring up a bit more about this specific topic is that we need more shop skins. I would adore having more shop skins that you can just buy for 140 mammoth coins, because so much of the stuff they release into the shop feels very limited time, or, oh, you have to spend 900 mammoth coins to get this. Like, it never feels like you can just buy something in the shop because it looks cool, or it's like, oh, I could drop like $6 on this. It seems like a cool item to get. You never really have that. But with the Raptor skin, I'm glad we have that. Like, we only get shop skins like a couple times in a year. It's been becoming less and less, it feels like. My point being, though, I want to see more of them, obviously. I adore the shop skins. And I think arguably the biggest point about this video that I'm going to be getting to right now is the RGB colors. The fact that everyone is so upset about it, and I have a feeling that BMG isn't going to do anything about it either. The main problem with it is that this is the first time in Brawl history, out of maybe the 47, 49 colors we have in the game right now, this is the first time that you are forced to pay money to buy a color. And I wouldn't have a problem with this, actually, if they just made the color have something more to it. The fact that we're paying 400 mammoth coins, or basically the equivalent of $20 in America, at least. The fact that we're paying that for a color that looks like any other color, especially when there are better colors out there, it's annoying. It's a little annoying. A lot of people, like, I've been seeing really good points about how they should have made it an animated color, and I think they really could have done that. That actually is a really smart idea. The only way I don't see it happening, though, is that it would bug up the whole color system, then they might have to rework the whole thing. I'm not 100% sure. I think BMG could figure it out if they really wanted to, and I think charging 300 mammoth coins for these color bundles would have been more fair, actually. Hell, I think even 400 isn't that bad. You're getting a color, or a unique color that has a bit more... What's the word I'm looking for? It has more aura, I guess. That's the worst word I could use to describe it. But it has more aura to it because it costs money. But that doesn't remove from the fact that it shouldn't cost money in the first place. And if you're wondering, I didn't get the color for free. I actually bought it on my own. I'm using it right now because I think it looks nice. And to me, to someone who spends a lot of games, or a lot of money on games, it was a worthwhile deal for me, but I know it's not a worthwhile deal for everybody. Right after that, we have the new companions and the new trails, and also the option to equip these on all the characters. That should have been a given, first of all. I know at the time there was only the one trail, so to really have that trail, you would have to just buy the new Nyx skin. And at the time, I thought that it was just going to be you have to play Nyx or Wushang to get the new trails, or anything like that. Which is not the case. You can equip them on any legend now, which is very, very cool. That is a amazing change, and I don't know if more cosmetics is really the way, or like more cosmetic types specifically. I actually think Brawl is getting very bloated with a lot of these certain cosmetic types, right? Because we just got cosmetics, or the, not cosmetics. We got the companions, and we got the trails. Those are two new cosmetic types, and they are not very... I don't know, they are kind of expensive, if I gotta be honest. The trails, I think, are a fine price. I think trails should cost as much as a KO effect. You're seeing it more often than a KO effect, actually. And some of them have cool effects. I can't deny that. By all means, any of these changes that I talk about, the art team does a phenomenal job on them. You cannot short the work of the art team. The art team is a different department than the microtransactions or the balance, for example. The companions, on the other hand, I feel like those could cost a little less. They feel a little overpriced for what they are. They are kind of just a little bit of an over-glorified sidekick, I guess. Because sidekicks you don't even see often. You only see them whenever you die, which is like, if you're playing good enough, then what's the point of even having a sidekick, right? Which obviously isn't the point. I think the companions are still really cool, and I actually wouldn't mind... personally, I have no problem. I don't have a problem with, like, visual clutter on the screen. But for companions, I think they should have an option to disable. Mainly because they are a huge distraction. I wouldn't say the trails are as much of a distraction. It's more so just the companions, because they're actually moving around constantly and kind of getting in the way, if I gotta be honest. But I still think they're very cool. Besides that, we got a new Kung Fu map. It's kind of going to be ignored, I could imagine, because people only really play one Kung Fu map, you know? It doesn't really matter. And then we got some balance changes, and while I'm not going to go over them in detail, because I'm sure so many Brawl channels have already made in-depth videos about all the balance changes, and specifically, Swerfed already has that taken care of, if we're being honest. There were a few changes that really bugged me in the balance department. The Wushang buffs were obviously just because of the new bundle, and... I mean, come on, Wushang's the best character in the game by far. He didn't need those changes. But also, just very insignificant changes, like axe nerfs, which don't really feel like it got nerfed at all. You had orb changes, which a lot of people are saying orb is top tier. I don't think it's top tier. And a Yumiko change, which actually removed the true zero to death combo she had, which I'm very, very happy about. But balance changes aren't exactly what I talk about a lot. And maybe in a legend analysis, I'll bring it up and talk about what the legend currently is like, but in terms of talking about all the changes, like, oh, this change got like 5 frames taken off of it or whatever, I'm not as in-depth on that stuff. But I just want to get a little video out like this and let you know what my thoughts were on a lot of the new stuff. I think Brawl has a lot of good ideas and a lot of bad ideas. Some of the patches have a lot of good changes, and the patches have a lot of bad changes. You never really have one patch that feels completely terrible or one patch that feels completely perfect. And I think if BMG knows that their players really, really don't like this change, I'm hoping we won't see colors like this being paid for again, unless they add something more to it to make the price justifiable. I didn't buy the Shang skin, actually. I got this thanks to Diff, and I'm not going to try to chill out and be like, oh, buy the Shang skin and just ignore the whole problem at hand like that. It doesn't matter who got it for free. Even content creators like Swerfed or Egg Soup or Planet Micro might get them for free. But even they, I'm hoping, are not going to stand by with these prices. The only way to let BMG know that it's a problem is by getting vocal about it and letting them know in not an angry way, because I don't want to be like, this game's terrible, all the changes suck. Like, I don't want to be like that. I want to try to make it constructive criticism, which is exactly what I was hoping this video would do. So I hope you enjoyed my whole rant, and until next time, y'all remember to keep on brawling.